Hey, what's going on, guys? Robert the Creative here. Just want to do a quick tutorial about the cover image for your YouTube page. I'm actually updating mine from the old one that I had. And I just wanted to give something for solopreneurs to kind of look at. I know a lot of times we actually have to be a man of many hats and we're not necessarily comfortable with it. So I just wanted to kind of give something quick that you may be able to use as well when you're doing your design, at least for the cover image for your YouTube page. The style for it is going to be more of a modern but simple design. And let's go. So what I did notice off the bat when I was playing back the video is that nothing as far as my menus inside of Photoshop was recorded. So I'll be adding text with everything that I'm saying so you can kind of go along with that, as well as linking the page that YouTube has for the guidelines as well. So first and foremost, your document, you want to have 2,560 pixels by 1,440 pixels, which is the recommended size by YouTube. So I did that. And then now what I'm doing is actually setting up my dimension of my safe area guidelines for the document by making a shape. And the shape for that dimension is going to be 1,546 pixels by 423 pixels. And you'll see later on what the dimension or the guide for that is for. It's kind of just so when you text, when you're looking at the mobile, the desktop, your desktop max, your tablet, your TV, no matter what device you're viewing it on, the text is going to be saw. So now I'm adding the photo that I'm using for the actual design itself. And this is just one of the lookbooks that I use for Instagram, just kind of having the style of the brand in itself. So it's more of like a street casual wear that I'm going for it. And I'm adding a separate shape that initially I wanted to have my text in. It didn't work that way because, you know, the layout and the dimension guide, as you'll see in a moment, didn't really go that far into the color. So I had to kind of switch it up and just making sure everything fits. And now I'm going to be adding my dimension box back to the top, and it's just for the guideline itself. So now once I start adding my text, I have just a quick note for it while you're doing your text. You want to make sure that you have a style guide for your branding. One of the things that's going to be in your style guide for your branding is the type of font that you use, the style of font. And even if you're not doing it yourself, you have a designer that's doing it, it's good that you have it on hand so you can give to your designer to kind of cut back on the back and forth with everything. So with that, I have two main fonts that I use and then kind of like one extra font that I'm using just to, if I want to accentuate something. Around this time, I'm realizing that the original template or layout that I had in mind won't work because of the dimensions. So I'm going to kind of change it up a little bit and move the life and times outside of that box. But what I want to do is actually use the same color as the box to kind of make it feel like it's an extension of it, if that makes sense. It kind of puts the two together and you can tell what it's meant for when you look at it. So now I'm just adding my other fonts. This is what I mean when I say I had a third font. Like the Robert the Creative, I feel this gives it more of a personal feel for my branding, as well as you'll see that and it stands out from the other fonts and you want to read it to see what it's about. I'm realizing now that it doesn't stand off of the page when you look at it, so I'm just adding the drop shadow to it to kind of make it pop up some and give it more of a 3D effect. And then I will be adding, here we go. So now I'm adding what the actual YouTube page is about. So on here, I'm doing vlogs, I'm doing tutorials for stuff such as this, as well as I'm giving big man fashion with the clothing line I'm starting with, Creative Minds Clothing, as well as style ideas of what you can do with that clothing, which is kind of why I chose the picture to add for the cover image as well, because it gives us a feel of what the style is that I'm going with. So now just laying out everything. This is one of the other fonts that I have inside of my style guide. So this is the second font, my secondary. The Life and Times is in the main font that I use. And this is going to be kind of for any type of extra wording that I'm using whenever I pass any message along. So one quick thing, as I mentioned before, it didn't record the menu. So I just took a screenshot of this. When you save this image, you don't want to do a traditional save as. You're going to do export and save for web export or legacy. And what this is, you can kind of make it as small as possible without degradation of your image. So when you upload it to YouTube, it doesn't have to do as much compressing, and you don't have the fuzzy font whenever you look back at the image. I had to find this out the hard way, so please just go along with this. It'll help out a ton when you're actually doing any type of web uploading. And this is just the actual settings. When I got in there, I did a quality of 60. I saved it as a JPEG with high format. You can change the percentage. It'll change the width and the height of the image. The main thing you want to worry about is the quality as well as the format that you're saving into, and you can preview it so you can save for it. Once you have everything like you like, you just click save and you're good to go. And this is going to be the final image. Like I said, it's a modern design. So you have the chunky font, you have the thin font, as well as the Robert Creative, which is like a handwritten type font, which gives it more of a personal feel, which for my brand is very important. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the YouTube page and we're going to actually upload the image that we just made. So once you're here, you go to the camera in the top right. Here you're going to have the channel art uploader. You just select it, or you can drag and drop the image you made. It's going to upload everything and give you a preview. So this is how it'll look on mobile, desktop, as well as on TV. You can do adjust the crop, so you can kind of change the crop for it if you want to. Once you're finished, you click select, and it's going to upload for you. So here you'll see it's kind of fuzzy right now because YouTube is actually still uploading everything, compressing it if it needs to. That's why it's important that we use the legacy save as format inside of Photoshop. All right, so we've reached the end of the tutorial. I want to thank you for watching so far. If it helped you, consider liking the video or subscribing to the channel. I plan on releasing more tutorials as well as my weekly vlogs where I show you the background of a solopreneur for my fellow solopreneurs in hopes that it can help you reach your goals inside of your business as well. If you have any questions, comment down below, or you can reach me on Instagram at Creative Minds Clothing. And as always, y'all stay dope and be blessed. Yo.